I'm Ryan. I'm here with my brother Daniel, and this is Rolls in the Family. Today we are finishing up our countdown of our most played games of all time. What are the games that we have just literally poured the most hours into over the last, 15 years of modern board gaming? We talked about our 20 to 11 in the last video. We are now to the very top, the ones that, I don't know if where we compare to other people on some of these games, but we've logged some hours, Daniel, on these. We have links to all these in the description below. That is a way you can support the channel if you want to check those out. If any of these sound interesting, we obviously thought they were fun enough to play as much as we did. But let's talk about them a little more and start off with Daniel's number 10.
Yeah, that'd be kind of a funny question. Which game on this list did we dislike the most? But still played it this much? Let me know.
I know there's ones in my top 10 here that I no longer own. So,
okay, well, there you go.
There you go. If that doesn't make you want to stick around.
Yeah, that was I even want to stick around. I'm not going to leave early.
Daniel might stay for the whole video.
I might even stick around.
Might not have to backfill the back half of the video with AI, so that's good.
Yeah, I know. Wait till they find out I'm just AI generated. Okay, coming in at number 10, game mentioned on our previous video by you, and one that is just one of my favorite games. It's delightful, and I think it's going to keep moving up, and that is Terraforming Mars. This game, you obviously got it first about 5 years ago, I want to say. Mm-hmm. I am trying to remember when along the path I got it, because it would have been a little bit afterwards, maybe a few years ago, I want to say. Yeah,
it was one of those games that very quickly we knew this was one of our favorite games.
Yeah, it's just been absolutely fantastic. You add the Prelude expansion in, and you even have colonies. We just backed Prelude 2. Is there any other expansions that you have?
I technically have the Venus Next expansion, but
I just use a few of the cards.
I just use the ones that aren't the Venus stuff. Yeah.
Right. So Terraforming Mars is a game we have been able to play a lot together. I've been able to have a decent amount of opportunities to play it with other friends. My wife loves it. And it's just one that has gone over so well. It's one of the first games I think of when I'm like, okay, I've got a group of people that I can tell will like kind of heavier games. Terraforming Mars is often one of the first ones I go to because it just delivers every time. It's just a great experience. People really seem to always love it. And so it's one that I think in terms of kind of a staple that's just going to keep getting plays going forward. I imagine it's just going to keep growing from here. I've got 27 plays of it. How does that actually compare? I was curious because I've had some plays that are different. Okay,
I'm at 29, though I just played it like a week ago. So
okay, nice. Did you win?
No, I think I got it.
Okay, good. Okay, so oh, Ryan, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Terraforming Mars coming in at number 10.
Nice. Yeah, that is a recent climber and one that's showing no signs of slowing. Speaking of games that do not fall into that category, my number 10 is one that got played a ton and is done now, for me anyway. This is Gloomhaven. And so we've talked about some campaign games. Campaign games often can be hard to make a list like this because you play one campaign and then you're done, and that maybe isn't enough to get it on. Right. Well, with freaking Gloomhaven, one campaign is just so much. So I played basically a full campaign. So what am I at? 49 plays. And so that's just a lot. It was a lot of time. There was a stretch where we were consistently playing every couple weeks. And so it made it into my top 10 despite being done at this point for me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, good experiences with it. I enjoy Gloomhaven, and I got to the point where I felt like I was done with Gloomhaven. I enjoyed my time with it. Didn't really feel like I was going to start a new campaign, or didn't feel particularly compelled to check out Frosthaven. Yeah. But yeah, looking back on it, it's like that was a lot of time. Like the fact that stretch, that's over maybe 2 years or so that we had that campaign going. It beats out some of these other games we talked in the last video that were like during that period 10 years ago where we were playing like crazy, living at home together. So it is impressive, just like, okay, that was a lot of time we spent with that game.
Yeah. It's funny whenever you talk about Gloomhaven, because I know you really like it, but it was like the number one game. And so you've like cooled on it, but you still really like it, but it almost sounds like you like don't.
Yeah, I don't want to like come across negative, but at like the same time, it's like, it did settle quite a bit for me. It's also one of the rare games that we've both played a ton, but have never played with each other.
Never played
because we had completely separate groups. Like it probably is the most, like the best example of that.
That's totally true. Yeah, that's the highest one of that. So that is really interesting. Yeah, Gloomhaven is a great one.
Good poker face, Dan.
Good poker face and good analysis. I'm gonna be coming in number 9 with a game that got played a lot by me. I got played a lot more by you, and it is pretty much done. Maybe there's a world where I get it and play it more, but unlikely. And that is going to go to Cosmic Encounter. So I know you have a lot more plays of Cosmic Encounter than I do, but I've played it 96 times. So not, nothing. Oh my goodness. This game it's so nostalgic for me. Like, and I know it is for you too. Like we had the group that just was obsessed with it. I mean, we played so much Cosmic Encounter for probably like a 4-year stretch of, maybe it was more than that. I don't know. I'm just guessing, like where it just was playing it all the time. And again, with the incredible variability of all of the alien powers, and you get all these expansions, and I felt like we explored every nook and cranny that Cosmic Encounter had to offer, and it was incredible. I mean, it has so many interesting, with obviously the powers are huge in putting you in this, but just so many interesting moments and situations and all that stuff, where I almost feel like, and I know you don't really play it that much anymore either. You still own it. But it's almost to the point now where it's maybe feels like we've kind of experienced it all, and it's rare for it to give us something new, Yeah,
it's kind of the infinite variability with the aliens, but there's certain like types of things that can happen that we've kind of like experienced a lot of those types of things. And so it's small variations. I think it also during that stretch benefited, like we were playing it so much that like a game falling flat wasn't a big deal. Because we were maybe going to play it 3 more times that night.
Just play it 3 more times that night. Who cares?
Whereas now, like, there's a little bit of this hesitation to get it to the table where I know, like, this might be the one game I play, in this situation, or I'm not going to play it again soon. And it's like, I know Cosmic can fall flat and you can maybe not get the most interesting game. And it's not the easiest game to teach the full thing and get everybody playing. But you cannot deny the memories and experiences we have during that stretch.
And that's where I'm even kind of scared to like ever own it, because 1, games can fall flat, and 2, I'm afraid that it just won't ever give me what it was.
I'm chasing
this nostalgic moment, this thing I used to have, and so much of it is group dependent too.
Totally.
Like the fun of the game is the people you have playing,
and a consistent group. You get like this group meta over time of like,
absolutely.
So it's like, I'm never gonna have as good of a Cosmic setup than that stretch, and I'm never gonna get that quite back. But I also, the thing that I keep it in my collection. 1, it's so different from everything, so it's like hard to get rid of it, especially when I have so much for it. It's also one of those things I think like down the road, when I think of kids, I'm like, that could be a pretty fun game to break out with.
It would be awesome
kids
to introduce to a new group
and let it form its own,
and let it start to. Yeah, I totally agree. So
we'll see. Maybe in 15 years, I'll be talking about Cosmic rocketing up my list because my kids,
subscribe so you don't miss that 15-year. We've got it scheduled.
Got it scheduled. Alrighty, that was your number 9?
Yep.
My number 9. We just Well, actually, I don't know what this video is. I don't know when this video is dropping in the sequencing of things. But pretty recently, we dropped a review for this game. And this is a game that also benefited from kind of that same college group that really latched onto this as a go-to. I mean, I remember so many times finishing classes, going back to my friend's apartment, and this was the game we played. And this is Tichu. And we talk about this in a review, like, whether Tichu is going to be a good game for you depends almost entirely on whether you're going to have a consistent group of exactly four people.
Yeah.
And
this is even more dependent than Cosmic. You really need the 4.
There was that stretch where we had consistently like a group of 4 that all knew the game. There was no teaching. We just would deal out and play. And man, is that perfect for Tichu. And so we just played it and played it and played it. And it's not really a game you get tired of. Like, it's one of those games that the more you play it, the more you tend to actually enjoy it more, and getting to play it. And so what am I sitting at now? 106 plays of Tichu. It's a lot of plays of Tichu.
You've played that a lot more than me. It just missed my list. Wow. I didn't realize you played over 100
You weren't
times.
In that key group. You missed the
I missed the cut.
Yeah, I missed the cut. Yeah, so I don't get nearly as many opportunities to play it. Occasionally I'll usually it's the group, people from that group I happen to get together again. Mm-hmm. I would love to teach some new people to get them to the point where they could be options for getting Tichu to the table. But it is hard because it's like, are they going to get to play this multiple times? Are they going to want to play this multiple times as opposed to other games?
Well, and sometimes it takes multiple suboptimal plays when you could have been playing some other game that was
you got to put in a little work to get to what we really love about Tichu.
Right.
But yeah, little card game making it all the way to number 9 on my list, and not a long game. I think we have the average at like 60 minutes. So like it needs a lot of plays to get up there, but I've got a lot of plays. So that's my number 9.
Speaking of a lot of plays, my number 8 is going to go to, I think it's the second most played game on my entire list. A game that was already mentioned by you. Can't remember if it was in this video or the previous one.
It's a blur.
But one of the earliest games that we owned, and I just kind of forgot it. We played it this much, and that's going to go to Dominion. It's I have 154 plays of it logged here, and yeah, I mean, we were saying before. I mean, what a perfect game to play that many times because it's just pinnacle variability. Every game setup is unique and then obviously when you start adding, I mean, you already have a lot of variability just in the core set. And then you start adding, in these expansions and
we got Dominion Intrigue, then we got Seaside, we got Prosperity, which was really a game changer because that adds the platinum money
that was
card
the biggest
and
thing.
the colonies that are higher than provinces.
That was honestly getting more cards is like cool, but also to a certain degree, how much does it actually like improve? You get to a certain point where like getting more cards is like doesn't even affect
we'd have to
anything.
play this game a lot to really have this change.
Right.
But yeah, adding that extra money and the higher victory point card just opens up like different strategies in every game. Because if you use them every game, and we loved that. Yeah,
so that was a really fun upgrade to the game, but man, we played it so much. We played it 2-player, 3-player. I mean, we really it was just a almost daily game that we were pulling out during the stretch when we were living at home, and one that we never got tired of, and that's why people still today. I mean, Dominion is still one that, even though it's not by any means new, it's been out for a long time. Yeah. People still really enjoy Dominion, and I see people who still play it quite often. So we joke about whether is this one that probably isn't going to ever come back into the collection for us.
Though talking about it does kind of make me want to play it.
But I could absolutely sit down and play another game of Dominion right now, adding to that total of 154 plays. So there you go, number 8, Dominion.
Cool. My number 8 is one that is not a long game. It's a very classic family weight game, but we Loved it back then. We still love it now. We have not tired on it, despite I've got 146 plays of this game. This is Ticket to Ride. And that includes, any expansion maps. So we had Ticket to Ride Europe for a while. So kind of anything in the Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, Switzerland.
I don't think we ever played Asia, but,
No, sorry, not Asia.
India.
India. There
I was like, dang on. That was not one of them. Yeah.
Asia. I'm just making stuff.
Love Ticket to Ride. That was another just go-to when we, we're at home and just pulling out games. Like, I don't know, we just haven't tired of Ticket to Ride. Like, I can't think of any point in those 146 plays that I was like cooling on it or not really wanting to play it. It just became that comfort food game that we would love, and we were quick playing it because we all knew how to play. And one that is, you've talked about like the graph of plays over time. This one's taken a hard nosedive in recent years. Like, I just do not get to play it often. Not because it's not like an accessible game, but it falls into that weird thing where like a lot of people I game with just aren't that interested in playing Ticket to Ride. They've either played it and they want to play other things. And so there's a little bit of sadness in my heart because I would love to still play some Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I'll just interject because my number 7 is also Ticket to Ride here. And yeah, similar thing where it doesn't get played a lot anymore for that same reason. It's just almost never is someone choosing Ticket to Ride, because if they know enough about games, they're typically picking something a little bit, I don't know, beyond
or
it.
Just different, yeah.
And so it's really the people who maybe haven't played much games at all, and usually then it's me saying, hey, here's Ticket to Ride.
And then I guess in a lot of those situations, we have some like newer games in that niche that we want to like get to the table. So it is hard.
It is hard, but man, what a classic. It's really fun, the different maps that there are, but even the USA map, man, like I can just roll out on that and have a great time. I've played a ton, obviously the physical board game. I had the app, and I've played tons of games on the app of it. And it's one that's just, we haven't tired of. It's still in our collection, which is honestly like a bigger testament to the game than maybe, we even think about, when you just think we're constantly getting like, we're trying to improve our collection.
Yeah, I mean, go check out our cold games video where we talk about games to get rid of. Like, we don't keep games running in our collection for no reason.
Yeah, there's good games that leave because they're not getting played, and so for both of us to say Ticket to Ride has an essential spot in our collection, I think speaks a lot to it. And obviously, it's one that I think a huge part of that is neither of us have tired of it. We still love to play. And I think that's huge for a game that you oftentimes are introducing to new people or something, is we're not tired of it either. And we can have a good time. So that is my number 7.
Very nice. My number 7 is a game that is very different from Ticket to Ride. This is a game that if I had to, like with my core group, and when I say that, that's kind of the same as that college group, or at least that's a segment of it that a lot of these other games saw a lot of table time with. This probably is the biggest group favorite. Like, it is like the game that everybody in that group always wants to play. I've played it multiple times every year for over a decade, and this is Eldritch Horror. Another one I actually just played recently. I mean, we've reviewed this one, so we've shared a lot of our thoughts on it, but man, we've had the right group for it, and that group just loves it. And when you've got a group that loves it, and we've got all the expansion stuff, so all the variability, it's the sandbox of what's going to happen in this epic cooperative experience. And, sometimes it swings. It's a pretty random game. It sometimes swings very horrible, which can be funny and still fun, and sometimes you can have an amazing comeback. Sometimes it swings the other way. But so many good experiences with this game. And yeah, I mean, what am I at? 41 plays for a big 3-hour cooperative game. And it's still hitting the table. I just like I said, played it recently. One that I don't anticipate ever leaving my collection. I know they made like Arkham Horror 3rd edition, and it kind of went in a little bit of different direction. Eldritch, I think, hits exactly what we want from it, which is really, in any given game session, all the variability is there and anything can happen. So one that likely is going to continue climbing up this list because it gets played pretty regularly and it's long. So every time it gets played.
Yeah. So, I mean, once again, we've got a double follow-up here coming in at
I wondered how much
numbers,
this was going to happen on this list.
I know. We might just have the exact same list going from here.
I know that's
my number 6, yes, is also Eldritch Horror, and it is a total crowd favorite. I mean, and it's one that I think obviously it's just insane variability. And with that, it's not just like a little bit of variable setup, but it's like, it creates it's got a whole story that unfolds, not in terms of like a game that like thematic, it's not super like in the weeds
it's
of like
kind of disjointed and it's
very
thematic.
Disjointed. It's very random, but more like the just higher story of interesting things that are happening in the game and crazy moments, and it creates situations and improbable comebacks unlike any game that I've experienced, because when you just throw that much variability together, it creates crazy things. But it does it in a way, and I think this is huge, where you don't feel like you don't have like, it's not so random that you don't feel like you have some control. Like you really do feel like you can do things to improve your chances, and then ultimately it's up to how you roll and stuff like that. And I think for me, this game could get it's going to stay in my collection. It's one of my favorites. And currently, again, kind of finding the group here that I'm preparing to introduce to Eldritch Horror. It'll be a coming up.
Grooming his own.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what we want to say, but but yes,
it's said it's on video.
It's said it's on video, so we can't redact it now. But yes, I'll cut that out. No, I won't. So Eldritch Horror, is for both of us just an all-time favorite. And man, we've played when you talk about, you've played 41 games of it. I'm coming at 39. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games of Eldritch Horror. So clearly one of our favorites, and definitely one. If you like just crazy chucking dice, all that sort of stuff, it's pretty awesome. So
it is. We enjoy it.
There you go. Number 6.
Very nice. My number 6 is a game that I know you've played more than me, and you currently are the one that owns the bin of our collection.
Very
from
clearly
the disc. I'm not making this any secret to Daniel. I'll just say it. This is Heroscape. And Heroscape is a game that when we got into it back in, again, it was probably that like 2011. It was already like out of print at that point. Like this is a Hasbro game. It kind of became this like sought after collector's item because, nobody like they didn't sell anymore. We ended up getting it like on eBay, got a bunch of stuff for it. We played it a ton. Just so fun to build these 3D maps and do all this.
Yeah.
Then so I played it a ton. I've got 68 plays of it. You then got a second life with like kind of your high school group and stuff, and got even more plays of it. And I know you managed to find some nice secondhand finds. You can sometimes find somebody selling some
Facebook Marketplace. Keep an eye out.
It looks just like a toy, so so they don't necessarily know that it's a little bit more sought after.
Yeah,
but very fun game. Excited that it's actually getting rebooted by Renegade Games. I think I have no
idea.
And it sounds like it's gonna happen. They're making it happen. Hasbro had like a failed kind of crowdfunding thing before. But as I have young kids and I'm thinking back of our experiences with Heroscape, I'm like, I'm gonna have to have Heroscape. Like I wish we had found Heroscape earlier in our childhood.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about just a perfect game for just imaginative kids, getting to build however you want these 3D.
That's half the fun.
But then it's a functional, good game.
Super
on
fun
top
game
of
on
that.
top of it. Yeah.
So really kind of excited to see what they do with the new stuff. But making this list reminded me just how much we played it back then, because it was we didn't really have anything else like it, and it just We had the time. We had a lot of time back then.
I know, it's funny because I played it a lot during high school with my buddies, but because of that, I forgot how much we just played it, you know, and it was like, oh yeah, we really did play it a lot. I mean, how many plays did you have of it again?
68.
Yeah, so totally.
I mean, it's my number 6 without any of your stuff you did with your friends.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, excited to see what they do with that new thing. So coming in now at number 5, a game that is very similar to my number 6, which was Eldritch Horror, because it's the one that Eldritch Horror replaced, and that is going to go to Arkham Horror, which Eldritch Horror I have 39 plays. Arkham Horror I have 45 plays. So very obvious that Ryan and I love the. So we started with Arkham Horror, and we played that a ton, obviously.
Yeah,
and really loved it. Honestly, I mean, it was one of our favorite games. A lot of great memories of it. And then when Eldritch Horror was out and we kind of were looking into that, and we realized it was kind of it was a bold move, honestly.
We got it for our brother, didn't we?
That's right.
And so we got to play it, and it was after playing it a few times that we finally were and they started expanding Eldritch Horror, so the expansions are coming out, and it was like, okay, I think we actually want to switch, which in hindsight was totally the right decision.
The right decision, but man, talk about to switch away from, because I mean they have a lot of similarities, but there are some key differences. I will say the only thing I miss about Arkham Horror, and I've got other games that maybe scratch this itch, but I did really like you really felt like you were running around a city. It felt very, the story felt a little, I could really see what's happening in the city as you're moving around and going into buildings and talking to people. Eldritch Horror is it's obviously the globe, so you're less kind of in the nitty gritty.
It's like, how many days have passed since the last time I did encounter?
Right. So from that was something I liked better in Arkham, but Eldritch Horror, just a way more polished, just much better game. I think we would both agree. So, but we have great memories with Arkham. Although, gosh, the bane of Arkham Horror's existence was the stupid
gate burst.
Gate burst. My gosh, you get a gate burst, and that sets you back another hour.
It's like we spent the last hour getting the seal, and now it broke off. Yeah, I don't know who in the design room was like,
we're all just
this game needs.
We're all just sad, and we're like, do we even keep playing? Gosh,
that was brutal.
That's demoralizing, but a good game. Number 5.
Yeah, it is very
Arkham
funny.
Horror.
We talk about how much we played Eldritch. We were coming into that already having played so much Arkham. Yeah. And so when you kind of consider those together, if you group those, that becomes our most played experience, is really this long cooperative, Cthulhu, Lovecraft.
For sure.
Themed. So cool. My number 5, you mentioned already. I have many more plays of it. This is Cosmic Encounter. This is with, so actually Arkham, to segue, was the first game I introduced to this college group when I was first getting to meet these people. And they found out that, I mentioned that I had board games, and I was talking about some of them. We were actually in a Barnes & Noble
That's
looking
the first game you introduced?
Well, okay, but we were in a Barnes & Noble looking at some of the games in Barnes & Noble, and Arkham Horror was there, and I said I had it. And so they latched on to that was the one they wanted to try. And I've it's really long. They're like, yeah, it'll be awesome or whatever. Then we go and play it for the first time, and literally of my many plays of Arkham, that was the longest game of Arkham I've ever had. We had gate bursts that slowed it down.
No.
I think it took us 7 hours to play it. Now, fortunately, they all loved it, and that really kicked off the era of playing games with that group. The second game I introduced to that group was Cosmic Encounter, and that just took like wildfire to the point there was a stretch. I think we that second month, the first full month after I introduced it, I think we played it 60 times. In a month. And so that just shoots these stats up. I mean, I'm at 187 total. Yeah, I mean, I remember nights where we sat down and played it 5 times in a row, and the expansions were coming out and we were getting the expansions. And so Yeah, such good memories of that time, even though Cosmic maybe is a game that's fallen a little bit for me and it's hard to find the right group and situation to play it. Man, was that the right group and situation to play it, and it got played and played and played. I actually wondered if this was going to be even higher on the list, but number 5 still is pretty solid, and it's partly supported by even before I met that group, our family group had already played it over 60 times because it was during that season where we were playing so many games. So yeah, everything aligned for Cosmic to just get played like crazy. And it did.
Oh, the days when before we were married and had families and we could just spend and play a game 60 times in 1 month.
Yeah.
I know it is wild when we look back at some of the stats of Ryan and I living at home, and what's our most played? Like
I'd have to look at it again, but there was a month that we played games every day. There wasn't a day we missed. And like I'm looking at like days, and it's like we played Agricola twice, we played Arkham Horror, we played Cosmic Encounter 3 times, we played Teach You twice. And it's like, what were we doing?
Yeah,
just
I know.
Morning to night.
We were dedicated,
it's that summer during that.
We knew we were going to have the channel someday, and so we were preparing. Yeah. We were just getting seasoned.
Putting in the work.
We were grinding. Okay, so my number 4, a game that you mentioned, a game that is hard to get onto a list like this because it's a campaign, and yet a campaign that I played. I didn't realize how much more I played it than you.
Yeah.
And that's going to go to Gloomhaven. I have played, I want to say
49.
I've played 75 games of Gloomhaven.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that
Isn't
much
that
more.
crazy?
That is
Which
crazy.
we played, so we finished the full campaign, and we really, we were doing like
Side
all
quested,
we really played about everything there, and then we even started the Forgotten Circles little mini thing, although we ended up not finishing that, sadly. So I've played just everything Gloomhaven. It was my number 1 game during that season. So this was a couple years ago. While I was at school, I had 2 buddies that we, I think it was during COVID that we introduced it, and obviously we had a lot more time during that season, and so we were just every week we would get 2 games in. We had a day every week that was we had 2 games, and we just. Yeah, and so we did that for multiple years, that with few breaks here and there, but just wonderful. I mean, it was perfect for us. The cooperative dynamic of the characters are super cool, and I love how you would unlock new ones, and now that suddenly changes totally how you play, and your team dynamic changes, and just working together and all of that was a lot of fun. And then obviously just experiencing everything Gloomhaven had with all the different missions and everything like that. Pretty incredible. It's a game that isn't gonna, I don't know, maybe someday I would go back with a group and play it.
I think it's
again.
hard. Like, I don't know if you would end up being more likely
maybe
to
just go get Frosthaven. Yeah, I would probably just
log those together.
Right. So Gloomhaven, this might be capped, but man, it's one of my all-time favorites. Obviously on BGG, it's an all-time favorite, and one that is near and dear to my heart. Sweet Gloomhaven.
Sweet Gloomhaven. Very nice. My number 4 has been mentioned. We're going to have a lot of overlap here. We've had a lot of overlap so far, and there's going to continue to be because we
grew up together.
Yeah, we grew up together.
How about
there was that stretch. Now it'll be interesting if we do this in 5 years, because we're going to start diverging a lot because so many of our games are apart now.
Because we don't like each other anymore.
Yeah. This is by choice. This is the only reason we're not together. My number 4 is Arkham Horror, and mine is higher because I introduced it to that college group, and so I got some plays that you weren't a part of. 53 games of Arkham Horror, and that's a long 3-hour game. Eldritch is getting there. I'm only 12 behind Arkham now. That'll be a day when Eldritch finally catches Arkham.
Celebrate.
But yeah, you talked about a lot of it already. So many good memories with that. That was the big epic game at that time that we would pull out and just enjoyed. We hadn't played that many cooperative games. I think it was maybe Pandemic and Ghost Stories at that point. And so to have this big epic one that we could have these experience in with so much variability, which we grew to just realize we loved so much.
Right.
Really good memories with Arkham. Glad they did such a good job with Eldritch. Just at least for our tastes, taking a lot about what we liked about Arkham, losing a few things, but outweighing it so much with just like really solid ways that they handle the variability in the systems in the game. This one is not going up anymore. I don't think. I think it's very unlikely I play Arkham Horror 3rd Edition again. Maybe some weird scenario. But that stretch keeps it all the way up at number 4.
Wow. Yep. So coming in now at number 3, this one is, I think it's not shocking necessarily to us, but a game like this being your number 3 out in terms of hours, game time play of all time is pretty crazy because it's not a long game. And this is going to go to Race for the Galaxy. Ryan and I did a review on Race for the Galaxy, and I almost feel like, can we call ourselves experts when talking, but maybe not in skill wise.
I don't want to say that because there's people that are like really good at this game.
No, but experts in terms of we at least know seasoned. Race for the Galaxy. We're seasoned. Yes, seasoned. Thank you, Ryan. Because we've played over 300 plays of Race for the Galaxy, and I mean, almost all of those are just us two. Yeah. I mean, this is like the talk about growing up, our nightly routine of we would have about 30 minutes left or something like that before we want to go to bed, and we would just whip out a couple games of Race for the Galaxy.
Yeah,
because it just delivered the best bang for the buck. Like, you could play two games, and each game you feel like you did a lot. You feel like there was strategy. It was exciting. It was just one of our all-time favorites, and we played it over 300 times, and I would play it I would be just as excited to play it today. Like, we have it just the way the game with all the cards, obviously all the cards create a lot of variability in and of itself, but I think also just the mechanism of your hand and having to choose what you're going to play and what you're going to use to pay for the thing you're playing. It's kind of your currency and the cards you're playing, puts you in infinite situations because there's an infinite number of ways, well, maybe not in one hand, but throughout a game, infinite number of ways that you could choose to play. I could play this card and spend these. I could do this. Oh, and if I, there's just so many different things that it just never got tired for us. And I don't own it anymore. So I think I tried it before my life. And, unfortunately, when you play 300 times, you have a bit of an advantage over someone who's starting out. But even when I visit Ryan, we that's one that I know we've gotten to the table in the past. So it'll slowly add a few here. But I imagine
it's not flatlined.
It's got a little bit of life.
It's on life support.
It's on life support. Yeah. But man, really incredible when you think about a game like this being that high. So
totally.
Number 3.
In fact, also my number 3.
Wow.
As I share many of the plays that you did. I have a few more, I think, at 318. But yeah, it just, I find more and more that we so love games that are this really interesting puzzle, but then add in this like variability, exciting variability that's like, ooh, I have to look at this puzzle a little differently this time. And Race of the Galaxy is one that's like that. Like, you're making a lot of the same types of decisions. You understand the system. We have a pretty good familiarity with what kinds of cards are in the deck. But you get this unique puzzle within that system of like, okay, how do I work with what I was dealt this time? And it's just, it never gets old. It really doesn't. It's in that category of games for me that it's not like if I keep playing it, it's going to slowly go down, that I'm feeling tired of it. It just, I always have such a good time playing it. Largely because it's such, like you said, good bang for your buck. Like, it's so much good, interesting stuff, and then you're like, oh wow, that only took 20 minutes.
Well, and when you get to the point where we know it so well, I mean, we are just it's just boom, boom, boom. Okay,
yeah, it's almost hard to play it with other people. And it's like,
now the caveat
it's not that they're taking a long time. It's just that
the caveat is almost all of those plays are with the, I guess what you would call the simple version of the game.
Yeah, we were playing 2-player, but we weren't using the advanced pick two
That is
roles.
so funny.
Yeah.
That
which we have now. It is funny.
But it was a weird shift at first. I think it's a good one. Like, I think going forward, I'm cool with that. But
it's just so funny that it was like we were having too much fun with it to even realize we should try this other thing.
I didn't even know it was an option, so I put this on you.
I'm the one that reads the rules. So
I never read the rules. I just trust Ryan. So
So this is going up very slowly for me as well. Probably a little more momentum than Daniel because I own it, and there are like a few other people I've played it with. But it is slowed down significantly. But way up here at number 3.
Nice. Okay, it's coming down the last couple. My number 2 is also my number 2 board game of all time. Spoiler.
Man, they're not even going to need to watch our other videos.
Oh, the people here this long into this video, they've watched.
Yeah.
I know they have. No one's 40 minutes deep into this video without having been.
And anybody
dedicated.
who's jumped past this to number 1.
Oh, yeah, they're way past this. Yeah. So my number 2 is going to go to Agricola. 75 plays of Agricola. Man, I was actually trying to think, how early on did we get Agricola for
it was
the first time? Okay, so 2011, and was it? I was trying to think about my own personal experience. For you, was it like a love at first sight, like you first played, or did it?
I think we really liked it. But again, it was that season that, like, if I go back and look at the plays when we first got Agricola, within the first 3 days we had it, I think we played it 8 times. Like, so that just like puts in perspective.
Did we have a life? How did our mom let us do this?
It was summer, like, so
where
we were just
our parents.
Well, and it was specifically the summer after I graduated high school. So it was the first summer that I didn't have sports obligations.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a ridiculous amount of time. And so, yes, it very quickly turned into my favorite game just because we played it so much to know that.
Right. Well, because we played it so much that we got to the point where we started to get really comfortable with the mechanisms. And this is a game, then we talk about this in our glowing review.
Very glowing.
Very glowing. And it's a game that the more you get comfortable in the system, then the variability just shines and the game gets better and better. I enjoy the game more today than I did at the beginning. And Ryan, I know, would agree. Now, we added this the revised edition. We've gotten a bunch of new, that adds just awesome new cards and all sorts of amazing stuff. And this is one that's going to keep flying up for me because honestly, looking at this, it might be my number 1 someday because it is my wife's favorite game of all time. It's my second favorite game of all time. It's Ryan's spoiler favorite game of all time. Like the key people in my life love it, and so it's one that is can be hard to get to the table. It's longer, it's heavier, but one that we are constantly pushing for because 75 plays later, and man, I just could always want to sit down for a game of Agricola because it just gives you a new experience in terms of how to stressfully get through and feed your family and grow your farm every single game. And so there you go. Number 2. Agricola.
My number 2 is a game that wouldn't have made Daniel's top 100 most played games of all time. Yet it is my number 2. It would have been high anyway, but it's been boosted even more by the fact that I, in the last year, 2 years, have started playing it a little bit solo and enjoying it that way. But I have played 260 games of Lord of the Rings, the card game.
Yeah.
And this is a game that I was in on when it was first released by Fantasy Flight back in 2011. I like Lord of the Rings. I like that style of card game. The living card game was kind of a new thing from Fantasy Flight where these aren't randomized packs that you get. And it was cooperative, which is a really fun dynamic to build decks that complement each other. And then you can play on these variable quests. Had a few different people that I primarily played it with in those early years that got it to the table a lot because I've primarily played it as a 2-player game. Daniel wasn't really one of those people.
I was not.
For whatever reason, that wasn't a game that you really got drawn into, and because I kind of had other people I played with, we always picked other games when we were playing 2-player.
Right.
But man, has it added up over the years. And in recent years, like I said, playing solo, I haven't done a ton, but I've probably logged over 20 solo plays of it at this point. And it's still one that I get to the table. So this one is not done, moving on this list. And it actually, I am very close between my 1 and 2 are within 5 hours of each other. So depending on like any given year, which one gets played, that could shift.
This game is this is easily the largest gap between Ryan and I.
Or Imperial Assault. I mean, which I haven't played.
Well, no, it's not even. It's not even close.
Sure, yeah,
because like it's not even close. Like I've played this maybe 5 times. I don't know. Like
you're probably right.
Really not at all. One part of it was I was never into the Lord of the Rings. I hadn't even read the books or anything yet. So that side of it didn't really get me. And then I think part of it was just, you had other people that like, this was your game with them. Mm-hmm. And so I just was like, this is Ryan.
And we had a lot of 2-player games. We were playing Race of the Galaxy. We were playing Summoner Wars.
Yeah. So I played it a few times and it never really grabbed me. But yeah, that one you played. I mean, I remember you playing it a lot back in the day. So just didn't realize how much I had forgotten when you said it. I was like, oh yeah, Ryan did play that all the time. So you said your gap between 2 and 1 is tight. Mine is not. Mine is about a 57-hour gap. Because my number 1 is gonna go to Heroscape. And as Ryan mentioned, we played it. I would have to know how many plays you had of Heroscape.
68, I think.
And most of those were with me. So we had all of those. But then I get a high school group of friends who just loved Heroscape, and not only loved Heroscape, but also loved playing long games of Heroscape.
Yeah, big epic long games.
Like we jacked up the points, and so we would spend my buddy and I would spend an hour building the map kind of in the evening, and then we would always play it after our high school basketball game would be done. So like we'd build the map before the game, then we'd go dress up and do crazy stuff at the game, and then afterwards everyone would come over, so we wouldn't be starting Heroscape till like 8:30, 9 p.m. We'd do like 450 point armies and have like 6 people. And I mean, these games oftentimes would go till 1, 2 in the morning, and they were so much fun. Gosh, they were just, for high school guys, man, this was like the just dream game of so my buddy, he got a bunch of Heroscape stuff off Facebook Marketplace as well. So we would combine our sets, and I hopefully on the screen, I maybe have some pictures from that. I'm not sure, but we would build these just incredible maps and every time people would come, they would see this map that we built, and it was new every time, and the character, and we would just have these tense battles, and they got competitive. I'll say that they definitely Heroscape can bring out the competitiveness in a bunch of high school.
Especially when Heroscape's got some mega swingy things, like the biggest example, the curse glyph or whatever.
The curse
you could literally just land on.
Everyone rolls the 20-sided die, and if you roll 1, your character dies. And that might be your character that, you
could like turn 1, like lose your biggest character.
Yeah, that in hindsight, I might get rid of that.
I might get if that one doesn't make it into the reboot of Heroscape.
Yeah, I might get rid of that one. But I have incredible memories of Heroscape. I got to play it a lot. This one again is kind of flatlined a little bit recently. So this is where Agricola, has some potential.
Have it. You have all the stuff. But I have it. I'm sure it'll have another season.
Just gotta find the right people. So hey, if you know me here, come and this looks like your type of thing. Reach out. So
if you want to play with toys, this is the game for you.
Yeah, this is the epitome.
Wow. So what was your hour count for that? The estimated hour count?
215 hours.
Wow. So you beat out. I'm at 202. So we both eclipsed 200.
I'm the winner.
For our highest game. Daniel's the winner. My number 1 was your number 2, and it is Agricola. But like I said, it was close. Like, if we had done this a year ago, I think it would have been flipped. Because I've gotten several plays of Agricola recently. Yeah, which is, I guess, kind of cool because Agricola, as of right now, is my favorite game. So
yeah, to be both your favorite and I mean, I guess that makes sense, but
it definitely some correlation there. But it continues to get to the table. I've played it 90 times. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're coming off doing our top games of all time videos, so I feel like I already have just like talked about, and we reviewed Agricola recently.
My gosh.
So I'm just like, what more can I say about Agricola? But we hinted at like those early days, how it got played so much because we got it right at the beginning of that summer after I graduated. So could not have been a more prime time to get like just a jump start in plays. Yeah. Then it rises into, one of my favorite games, my favorite game. We consistently have groups that enjoyed it and played it. It's nice that I have other people in my life that really love it, like you and your wife really love it. So it's going to keep moving up. My top 3 are all still in my collection. So like they all have the potential to go up. But it's the right combination of game I love a ton. Get opportunities to play, but it's not a short game. So like when I'm getting it to the table, it's really bumping up the hours. And I'm all here for it.
It really helped early on also that was like the most dominant beginning to owning a board. Like I remember, I want to say like our first 30 plays of Agricola, Ryan, you just whooped us. Like
I think maybe it was even a more point where it was like at like 50 plays I had lost like 3 times or something.
Yeah, like it was Ryan was a legend in this game, and it was like all of us, we would like if just someone beat Ryan, it was like a win for the table. We rejoiced. Fortunately, the group, I feel like we've all improved.
You must have matured into your adult brain or something.
Yeah,
you've come a long way.
Because I wasn't very good at it before, but we have some tight games of Agricola now, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, there you go. So Ryan, that is our top 10 most played board games of all time. It'll be interesting to see in 5 years. I guess that's what we've been saying when we update this list. And there you go.
And thanks for watching. If you want to check out any of those games that we talked about, we've got links in the description below. It can help support the channel. We've also got some other videos that you can check out here. We recommend just, click on one. Watch a little bit more. We love talking about board games, and hopefully you love hearing about them as well.